You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills After Show.
It's like a stripper
Alexis
song.
Bellino in the house.
Nice.
Yeah. Look who it is. Look who we found. We just found you in your Bentley. And we were like, hey. She was hitchhiking right next to AFTERBUZZ. I picked her up. Pick her up.
Good looking hitchhiker.
Open the garage.
I love
it. You know, it worked out really well, actually. You had your hair curled. It was like just meant to be that you were supposed to be here tonight.
It was just perfect.
And okay, everybody, we're here for another episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm Ashley Daniels, your host tonight, and I am sitting with Alexis Bellino. First,
Woo!
pretty awesome. And who else do we have tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm Jill Anenberg.
I'm Charlotte Broadbent.
I'm Cassidy Gard.
And we're recapping with a veteran, someone who's been behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. You know firsthand what it's like to be on The Housewives.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to watch it being here and not filming at the time. So yeah, my heart goes out to these girls. I mean, they're just watching it. I know they're getting revved up for the reunion, or they've already just filmed the reunion, which I think just happened, but I don't want to, I didn't know what I could say.
I love it.
It's a very tumultuous, it's crazy what goes on.
When you used to get ready for reunions, what was it like? Do you have to prepare for a mindset of just going back and forth? What did you do to prepare?
Well, you definitely prepare. I mean, you mentally, I think I would probably shut down with my husband for a few days, not my children, because they're constantly on you. But I think my husband just got it. He was like, I know my wife is just trying to absorb everything that has happened over the last season. She's getting ready to go in, and it's a really hard time. I mean, you don't know what's going to be thrown at you. You don't know what someone's mad about that you didn't know. You were filming thinking that everything was fine in that scene, and then someone's mad at you about that scene. So it's a really hard time.
The time between where filming stops and then the reunion starts, do you guys hang out in between?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I think every relationship is different.
Yeah.
Gretchen and I, when we were friends at the very beginning, we hung out the whole time no matter what was happening. And Vicky and I still hung out even up until the day we stopped, the last season stopped. We still hang out. I mean, we spent New Year's together, so we hang out no matter what's going on in the filming schedule.
Well, you're lucky you had Jim, because he's very supportive, and he a lot of these girls don't have that support system. So for you could go home at the end of the night and vent to him, and he could help you get through those situations. But for Brandi, for instance, it must be difficult when you're gonna get, because she's gonna get attacked. Certain people are gonna get attacked, and they don't have that support system. So
well, the interesting thing about my husband and I is that yes, he's my husband and he was there for me, but he isn't the biggest filmer. He doesn't like to be in front of the camera. He doesn't want to be on every scene. So a lot of times I come home and I'm telling him something that's happened or did happen, and he is very not really understanding it, because as much as I can explain it, he's not really there. So even for these women that like Brand, let's take Brandi for instance, she doesn't have a husband or a boyfriend. So for her to go home and try to explain this to someone else, it's really hard. So it's really just those people in your circle, and that's why the Housewives is such a kind of a sorority, because no one gets it like Housewives get it. There's no one else filming those scenes with you. A lot of times they don't let the boyfriends in or the husbands in or the, other people in, and you're just sitting there trying to make it through a scene, and then you get home and you want to download on somebody and you're trying to explain it. You sound like so crazy. You're like,
right.
Wait, that doesn't even make sense, and I'm trying to tell you what just happened an hour ago. No, forget it. Never mind. So even though Jim is very supportive in that, he's still doesn't really get it.
Well, you know,
he never will.
Well, I noticed on for you guys, I think the Real Housewives of Miami reunion, this past one, there was a lot of controversy regarding a makeup artist with Joanna Krupa and everything. They now show a lot of behind the scenes. They didn't do that with you guys so that's a new thing they're doing now. They show you a lot of the behind the scenes.
And I'm not watching that. I need to turn that on and watch it. You should watch Miami. That's cool.
Oh, it's just it
cool.
passed. It's over now. But you
shoot.
should have saw the reunion because the whole thing was behind the scenes. They would follow them in while they got their makeup done, and the makeup artists had huge fights with one another. It was like a crazy thing. But now they're amping it up a little bit.
Well, they amp it up every year. I mean,
yeah, right. I know.
penises are shown and things are happening, and you're like, what's going on? It's crazy. Every year it gets more.
I know.
I don't know.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with you now? So in terms of Alexis Couture, I know you still have Alexis Couture.
I do have Alexis Couture. I have pulled back, and to be in the fashion industry, you have to constantly be making new lines, and I'm honestly I was so tired and exhausted after last season. I really pulled back. I don't have any new things coming out with Alexis Couture, but I'm still selling what I did have, and I plan to have new items, especially the braid maxi that everybody wants so badly, offered in other colors. That is coming out. It's just not coming out tomorrow. It might be 2 or 3 more months. And then we have Sky Zones that are going amazing.
So
We're
fun.
opening our third one. And so, that takes a lot of time. It takes a year to get one of those to birth through the whole process.
Right,
So,
right.
it's busy, and I just am really enjoying my kids right now.
Yeah.
And
I know.
loving life.
Yeah, you showed some Instagram photos. We went to the field trip with one of your kids the past few days,
my
a
son.
week ago or something.
Yes.
So you have more time, obviously, to do things
Yes,
like that.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely more time.
No, I know you're talking about having more time, but I've just seen so many videos of you with beautiful makeup, showing like what's in your makeup bag, because everybody wants to know, like, how are you so beautiful? Do you think you would ever do a makeup line of your own?
No, because Gretchen went there.
Yeah.
You can go there.
No, if you want to know my true passion, it's the beauty of the skin and keeping the skin fresh and young, and I just want people to be able to prolong, wrinkles and things the natural way, not necessarily through Botox or injections, even though I was kind of pegged as the, Botox queen or the this or that. I think I get Botox once a year, and most people get it like 4 times a year. So I'm really not the Botox queen. I want to do things the natural way. So I do 3 or 4 masks a week.
Wow.
And people don't think about that, but I have different ones, and I just go through them, whenever I can get 10 minutes that I'm putting it on, and the kids are showering or the kids are doing homework or I'm getting in between gigs. It's like I'm just throwing a mask on and then I go.
That's smart.
What's your moisturizer, like your go-to moisturizer that you would say?
Right now I use all osmosis, and it's been amazing for my skin. Yeah. Amazing.
The only one I ever heard of that people like die for is the La Mer stuff. Have you ever tried the La Mer?
I have.
Do you think it really works?
And I don't have any relationship with osmosis.
Oh, no,
I'm just saying.
She doesn't. I'm just asking.
Everybody thinks that if you say something, you're like getting paid
you don't have
by
to
this.
answer if you don't want to. Yeah.
I really love osmosis.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so
the more
I gotta
I'm
look
sure
into
it's
that.
perfect. They sensed. I loved it. I love it.
Yeah.
I really think you have to follow a regimen for 3 to 6 months to a year before you actually see the results, and you need to stick with it and not give up on it after a month.
Right.
Aside from topically what you put on your face, because a lot of it is what you eat. I mean, clearly you have a beautiful body. You look fit. Like, you don't look like a skinny twig. You look like you're a fit, strong woman.
I don't know about that.
Hallelujah for that.
That is not necessarily a compliment.
I know, most girls don't take that.
No, you look like you're fit. Like, you could like.
She means you're toned. You're toned.
Yeah.
You're not. You're not like some girls are skinny fat.
You're
Like they're
tall.
skinny with like
You're how tall are
No,
you?
it's a compliment.
I'm 5'9".
We've
or
seen you in a
5'7".
bikini.
5'9"
You look
in my heels.
amazing.
Yeah.
I do love to work out.
You have
Like,
abs.
it's a passion.
Yeah, I mean, look,
do
you have arm
abs.
muscles. It looks amazing.
I mean, I work out.
Yeah, you can tell. I can't. You have 3 kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you never, no more, right? You're done.
Well,
I know you
want
kind of
more.
thought you wanted
I want more.
I know.
Hello, can you call my husband, please?
Let's call Jim right
call
now.
Jingle him up and get him like
Jim?
in the baby mode. I think he's done. This is the one thing in our marriage that I usually get everything I want. I'm just saying. I think this is the one thing in my marriage that it's not going to happen.
You kind of got him when you were holding the baby, and I think last season you were holding your friend's baby. And
2 seasons ago, yeah.
2 seasons ago, okay. And you kind of saw a glimpse of, he kind of looked like he maybe would want to.
He's so cute with babies,
He loved
too.
He was
Can
happy.
you get your kids to get on him? Like maybe
Oh, they
they
already
baby
have.
sister,
Like,
baby brother.
They do. They want him. They want another one. He's
do.
just not. He's just
There's
I think
always
he's
surprises. You just
Guys,
I was
he's 51.
surprised.
He's 51.
That's really good.
I'm 37.
You don't even
So,
look
I
good,
know.
please. You
That
look like
beauty
a-
regimen is working.
Yeah, seriously. Osmosis. It's
Maybe
called
I need to
that.
lay off the weights though, because I'm obviously fit and not skinny.
Girl, Jill,
you do
girls
not-
girls
no.
don't want to hear that. Girls
I
want
have muscles. I am like
You
so
actually
into
do. I
girls
get it. I get it. I
that
know what you're saying.
Well, no,
Because when I'm saying like you look like you don't want to look like a skinny twig. Like
Well,
it
I
doesn't.
know, and my husband
like
doesn't
emaciated.
like.
No, you
but
look
I don't want to be
beautiful.
emaciated, especially in front of my girls.
You're not
Like,
emaciated. That's what it is.
perfect.
You're super thin. You're thinner than the majority of the world. So
she has muscle on
You
her.
lived in California a little too long.
Well, if you have this as a best friend and you're like walking out, like you're working out 3 to 4 days a week,
Right.
and you can't even help yourself. Like you just are. It's
too
fun.
much trampoline, I think. Or I don't think
what
it
we
can be
do.
too much, actually. You must work out on
Yeah. The trampolines make you thinner, though. That's the thing. That's good.
So for anybody that doesn't know, Sky Zone is a company that Jim and Alexis own, and it's a place. It's an indoor trampoline camp. So you can go in there. And do you have like any type of? Do you have teachers in there that do any type of?
Yeah, we have the Sky Aerobics. And we have
sounds
I
awesome.
know. And
That
you're
sounds really
jumping
fun.
and you're doing things you never thought you could do, and you actually leave there not hurting, and it's the next day you wake up, you leave there thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath," but you don't hurt, and then the next day you're like, "Wow, that worked muscles. I had no idea."
That's
what
how
it
you know
would."
you have a workout.
But the kids, and to think that the kids are going through that instead of sitting there playing video games, that's what we love. It's like, because my son, I'm battling that with my son right now. He's addicted to his phone, to Minecraft, to Xbox, to this, and he's only 7. and my
oh
girls
my
aren't there
gosh,
yet.
I know.
My girls aren't there yet, thank God. But to get them into the trampoline park and to have them jumping instead
Yes,
of doing that, I'm like, love it. Love it.
What are the locations of the Sky Zones?
We have Anaheim and
Okay.
we have Chula Vista or East Lake.
Can I please put in a request for Los Angeles one?
Well, we don't have that. We only have San Diego and Orange County area.
Okay.
But yeah, Los Angeles area is owned by someone else.
Okay.
And yeah,
Well, we'll take a trip to Disney and then we'll go over to.
Yeah, Disneyland, and then you'll be exhausted.
My friend was
You'll
at
be
the
wiped out.
Anaheim location last weekend, and I was like, I need to go. That looks. She posted such cool photos on Instagram. I was like, I have to go. That looks
Well, I love
so
it.
cool.
Well, Carlton has an not indoor. She has a trampoline that we've seen on the show that's
Yes.
in the ground.
No, that's what we're gonna do in
So
our
fun.
backyard.
So smart.
Do you know why it's better when you have children in a house?
Yes.
It's smarter because at Sky Zone we have the cages around where you're not gonna fall out. If you put it on the ground and someone falls, they're not gonna get hurt. When
Right.
you have the high up trampolines that are on like 4 feet legs,
Yeah.
they fall out of that if the fence doesn't work or the cage doesn't work, and you're gonna get an injury, a broken
Right.
bone. So I believe that you should take the dirt out of your yard, put the trampoline in your yard.
So smart. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I've heard nightmare stories about people falling off trampolines and
Yep.
breaking.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Kendall Jenner, Kyle, one of them just was on a trampoline with Khloe Kardashian, and she had to go to the hospital.
Was it an outside trampoline or
Outside,
indoor?
outside.
See,
Yeah.
they're scary because they're on 4 feet pegs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ours are caged in and Sky
That's
Zone.
so
You can't
cool.
fall out. You can't. There's no way to fall.
We're taking an AfterBuzz trip. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's get into the episode itself. We're gonna do a little recapping. So, Carlton invites Mauricio to her party, but does not invite Kyle. So I wanted to ask you this. Obviously, you were invited to Tamara's party when she had her gym opening, and you were invited and you went because you thought she was extending the olive branch.
I
And
wasn't invited.
you were invited by Vicky. You were her first.
I was her plus
but
one.
Tamara knew you were coming.
Yes, she did. We
Right.
texted her and called her.
Right.
And she knew.
Right. So do you think that in this case, Carlton not inviting Kyle because she doesn't like Kyle would be something, would you think that that's a better thing to do than to have her come and then risk possibly fighting?
If you don't invite the wife, you don't invite the husband. That's
Right.
my
Yeah.
personal. And I like Carlton. Don't get me wrong. When I say something, I'm not trying to be. I don't want to take sides. I like Carlton on the show. I know a lot of people don't. I like Carlton. I don't think you ever invite a spouse where you don't invite the other spouse unless it's an all-female or all-male party.
Right.
I mean, you just don't. You're one when you're married.
Right.
So to invite Mauricio and not invite Kyle is a really big slap in the face, and I think that might be what she wanted.
Yeah.
Why else do you do that?
Right. Absolutely. I didn't think it was right either. Did you guys?
I thought it was just strange. I mean, you're right. When you're married, you kind of, if one's invited, the other one's invited.
Unless it's an all-girl, like an all-girl luncheon.
Right.
Like if my girls have a
Exactly.
birthday lunch, Jim doesn't want to be around 7 other girls. Like,
Yeah.
no. But this is a big party, big celebration. All the husbands were invited. All the wives were invited. You don't leave someone out.
And it was specified that Kyle has been uninvited.
Right.
And it's like, don't invite somebody and then uninvite them. A, it just seems childish, and B, it makes you look bad.
Right.
Then it's like you're not being the better person and trying to put the past behind you. You're being the immature one. So
and maybe Carlton was trying to just like keep the peace in some way, but that actually made
it
more
Yeah.
of a struggle. Like, it's a bigger fight now.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
she also, I mean, just trying to play devil's advocate, didn't want to invite her so that no drama went down at this event.
But then don't invite Mauricio.
But do you think Mauricio's going to go there being like, oh, Carlton, I love you. Thank you for not inviting my wife.
Right,
No, he's
right,
obviously
exactly.
not gonna go.
I think she
Not
knew he
gonna
wasn't
happen.
going to go, but I think she
course.
probably said, you know what, you might, maybe Mauricio and David, Carlton's husband David, had some type of friendship that was maybe beginning. I mean, this was a party for David's company, so maybe David didn't want to be like, hey, listen, like, man, like, I can't invite you either. Maybe, I don't know. It wasn't going to happen anyway. I think Carlton's
No,
smart
she's not
enough to
gonna go
know that
without
he's
him.
not going to go. And, you know, last week she said, I don't care if it's Mauricio's party. I'm still going to, you know, when they were fighting last week, Kyle was like, well, this is my husband's birthday. And she's like, I don't care. She didn't care about the party.
Yeah, that's
whatever,
really
however she
childish.
said it.
Yeah.
So I think she just realized that she just cannot handle a situation like that. So she had to just take her away. But at that party, it was pretty crazy seeing Lisa and Carlton have that discussion. Does anybody want to?
I liked seeing a softer side of Carlton. I
Yeah.
definitely think that it was warming for the viewers to see that. I mean, Kyle really offended her. Not a lot of people see this hard-faced Carlton that can do and say whatever she wants, and they don't really see her broken down. So I like to see her
Right.
feelings, and
Right.
she was really hurt by that.
Yeah, but Lisa was pretty adamant about letting her know that Kyle was not coming from a bad place. She was coming from a place if she actually was just confused. She didn't know that was the star of the pentagram. She thought it was the star. She didn't know what
do
it
believe
was.
that. I don't know what the history is with Carlton and Kyle. I don't know why they have. Some people's friendships just have friction, or personalities just have friction. I know I have that in my life. Everybody comes from some kind of friendship or knowing someone where you just rub each other wrong. I feel like that's the case with Kyle and Carlton, because I don't think Kyle meant anything by saying, is that a Jewish star or whatever, but I don't think Carlton, you know, she doesn't want to be taken as this bad person. She doesn't want Kyle to think that she's like, you know, anti-Semitic or whatever.
Right.
It's really hard. It's a really
Right.
hard friendship or relationship that those two have.
Yeah, they just start off on the wrong foot, I think, from the very
And
beginning.
it's getting worse.
Yeah.
It's not getting better.
Right.
That's something that always happens with the Housewives. Friendships never get better; they just seem to decline.
So true.
It's once
so
it's
true.
going bad, it's
Oh,
I
it's
don't know,
really
right?
south. Then you're really south.
Well, speaking of friendships, so we're going to bounce back and forth, obviously, because we're on, you know, we got Housewives of Orange County as well. But what's up? But currently, who are you speaking to from the Real Housewives of Orange County?
Well, I mean, I speak to all of them, but Vicky and I have just had a steady relationship. We didn't claim we were best friends once we became friends, like others on the show. You know, we decided 3 years ago, hey, we didn't really understand each other at first. I was just a housewife at that point. I didn't have another career I was doing. I gave up my career for my husband. Yes, I did. People call that controlling. It's not. I simply gave it up because he wanted me to be a mom and a wife. I was loving that at the time. I'm like, okay, I'll open another gym. I'll do this. I'll do that, because I was, you know, managing a health club at the time.
Yeah,
Right.
girl.
So yeah, I was fit. Then too. And so
I love it.
I just was doing my own thing, and it wasn't that he was controlling me. He just was like, babe, you don't need to work. You cannot work. So I kind of was a taken care of person at that time, and that's what Vicky was saying. But she was also a little bit resentful, which came out later with her and I, not on the show. But she was a little bit resentful because she was working so hard and her marriage was bad. She didn't like to see Jim and I happily in love. She didn't like to see that
Right.
we were at this stage in our life.
She was bitter.
And then, you know, we just kept building our friendship, building it slowly and surely. And here we are, we're just steady. We're not best friends,
Right.
but I can call her at any time and be like, hey, babe, what you
Right.
doing? You want to go get coffee?
Right.
You know, like we're friends.
Right.
Gretchen and I, I don't even want to go into that. That's just a burnt bridge, I think.
Yeah,
And
there's no fixing that one at this
I don't
point.
know. I don't think it is. I really don't. I don't want to be. I'm not bitter about it. I
Right.
hope you guys can really see that. I mean, I'm really
you're not, no.
angry. I just don't think I can go back there, because once I give you my heart and you like walk all over it with mud and stones.
Yeah.
I just don't think I can go back.
Right.
But I wish her well. And then, you know, Lydia and I still talk all the time. And then, you know, anytime I see Tamara or Heather, we are all still talking. Everybody, I mean, whatever. It's even. Everything's even now.
Right. Well, that's good. That's a good way
Peaceful.
to. Yeah, absolutely. That doesn't really happen very often in that world. So that's good that you got to that point. But you had to struggle a lot to get to that point. It definitely wasn't easy.
I think that every housewife, and I shouldn't say this, but I need to. I think that every housewife, all of us go through the season where everyone hates us. You're the hated one.
Yeah.
That's just what.
Yeah.
That's
So
part
like
of
someone has to be the target.
That's part of the. That's part of the. You know. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
Part of the career.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think everybody was really rooting for you at that last point. I absolutely do. I mean, they were wanting you to you know, get the courage to really say, "Screw you, Gretchen, fuck off." Like, I mean,
I think I said that.
It
just
wasn't
not like
editing.
that.
It wasn't editing. Right. It was really at that point. She just got a big head. I think so. She just got a little too cocky. I think at that point.
But I respect that you took those time with your kids. I know Vicky's quite the career woman, but her kids were much older. I mean, they were kind of grown, and you're still have little tiny ones, like 7. I mean, they're smaller. So when they're older, when they're 15, 16, and they want to hang out with their friends and might not want to be with their parents all the time, that's when you can say, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'll still be with the kids.
Well, and I'm still, I mean, I have a lot going on right now, so I'm still not just doing that. But my children, it's like, for me, I feel like I'm always told your schedule looks like this and all the other women are feeling like this. And I say no a lot more. I can't do everything that everyone else is doing because I want to be with my kids. I still want to drive them to school every day. I want to pick them up from school. I want to be the mom that's there for the parties and the birthday parties and the volunteering. That's who I am, and I can't change that. So if that's all okay, then it works. If it's not okay, that's my number one priority is my husband and my children.
My favorite quote ever is Oprah. No is a 1-word sentence.
That's good.
It's a good one.
And when you say it, I mean it the first time.
Yeah.
Not like, no, okay, maybe I will.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
You know?
You don't have to follow it up with an excuse. You can just say no and be confident
it.
about it. I love that.
And it shows power.
Yeah.
A lot
Absolutely.
of people can't say no because they're scared.
Yeah.
So when you can, like, it shows you're secure and
Absolutely.
How are you adapting now that the cameras are off? In terms of, like, I feel like at some point you must get used to the cameras, right? Or is it?
You totally get used to the
Yeah.
cameras.
So like when they're off, it's kind of like
You get
now
used to
you don't
that
have to put
too.
makeup on. Now you kind of just can.
You get used to both. You get used to
both.
when they're on and you get used to when they're off. When they're on, you notice they're there for the first 5 or 10 minutes, but they stay out of your way.
Right.
So
That's what Carlton said.
you are going about your day and they're behind here or they're over here and they're not near you. They're not like right here in your face. Like the cameras are really good technology. They're way over there and they're still capturing the scene.
Right.
So you're like, oh, they're here. And so at first you're like, you know, they never show the first 5 minutes of any scene you film.
Right.
By the way.
Yeah, they have to be
everything's
comfortable.
just everything's just like, oh, there's the fridge opening. You know,
Right.
Then they get into the dirty gritty
Right.
and then they're like, okay,
Right.
now enter husband, now enter children, now enter Kyle or Lisa,
Right.
whoever needs to be the person, you know,
Right.
they get you warmed up and then you forget and then you're just doing it. I think that honestly though, deep down in any reality person's world, you always still kind of know they're there. You still
Right.
don't feel like you can, you know, like blow your nose the way that you would blow
Yeah,
if
I was
the
gonna
cameras
say,
weren't
yeah,
on.
right? I
Or
mean, yeah.
don't wipe your eye because you might mess your makeup up. You're still living an uptight kind of world and you just have to get used to that.
Except for
That's just,
Jersey. I think Jersey, they do a lot of farting.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
and
that's about it.
Well, I don't do a lot of
Other than
farming
that-
off camera either, so maybe it's just how you're
Yeah,
brought up.
right.
My dad never fart. We don't
Yeah,
fart.
right,
Like,
right.
It's like you walk
Different
out of the
breed.
room, then you
Yeah.
go back in the room.
Well, you've
Never
done a
learned
lot
that.
of hosting. So doing a reality show with the cameras, how has that helped you be more comfortable on camera with your hosting jobs?
You know what? I never even thought hosting would be something I did either. It just kind of came about by being a guest on Fox 5, and it was all edited. And when that whole thing went down, I put up what really aired, what was really Fox 5 aired, and then what Bravo aired. And unfortunately, Bravo has millions of viewers. I had 300,000 or 500,000 viewers watching mine. Doesn't
Right.
even hit what really was
Right.
going. I was edited in a very unfair way on that.
Right.
But it's so fun, and I think that having the cameras around you make you more comfortable, and you just realize I am who I am, and I'm going to be quirky, and I'm going to do things that are a little bit off the cuff or a little bit crazy, but that's what makes the camera like you.
Right.
And if you can just let down and go, here we are, you know, and get into the moment, I think you can be really good.
Yeah.
Is it frustrating to be edited in a bad way? And when you see it, are you like, wow, that's not how it happened? Why? Why did you edit it like that?
Oh yes, and if any of them say they don't, we all go through that. Every housewife
It must
does.
be really stressful
It's
watching
really
the episodes.
hard.
I know you get them a week before, right? Because you could write your vlogs.
Less than a week.
Does
Less than
Jen
a week.
watch
You
them
get
with
him.
you, or-
Yes. Well, he used
Okay.
to. He stopped.
Okay.
He stopped. He's for the last 2 years. No, he'll watch late a little bit later. He couldn't even go there anymore because he saw me go through this whole roller coaster every single season.
Right.
And I think that's why he kind of pulled back on filming. Not only that, but the editing of how they portrayed my husband was. That's
They
not my
made him look
husband.
like, yeah,
he is that.
like he was
part of that is his-
controlling and all
yeah,
that,
but part of
yeah.
that is his personality. He is my husband. I want him to be the
Right,
man. I'm sorry.
right.
I'm married to an Armenian man.
Right.
I'm a very
Oh, I know
girly
he was
girl.
Armenian.
I want to be I don't want to be the breadwinner. I don't want to be the head of the household. I want him to have that role. That's fine in our marriage, but it's put to such a certain extent that you know, it's not necessarily fair. But I think everybody gets that, and you either have to let it roll off or you really absorb it, and it's not, you know, it becomes very unhealthy.
Did you watch them alone, or would you ever watch an episode alone when you got the DVD, or would you
for
always
sure.
watch it with somebody?
I only, you know what, later in the career, at first it was Jim and I always together.
Yeah.
Obviously never the kids, never friends. I'd always watch it with him. And then because it's such a business, it's like chess. It's like a business now.
Yeah.
You have to really be in it and on it. I would watch it. I don't want to watch it with anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone around.
I wonder. I can't imagine that. Just watching things go down that happened a few months prior, and just being by yourself because you want to vent to somebody. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That just
No,
happened.
and then
Like,
you do that later. The first time I watch it, I have to just watch it and see it, and I'm like, that's you know, and then or somebody says something, and when it cuts to the one timer, you know, the interview one-on-one,
yeah.
it's like you get so built up, and for anybody that's married, they know their husband wants to fix everything like that.
Yeah.
So for you to be devastated and be like, what? She said that, you know, that.
Right.
It's like he wants to fix it instantly, so it's better to watch it alone. That's my tip. That's my tip to any new housewife coming on. Watch it alone and then watch it with your husband. Get all the feelings out and then watch it with him and be like,
that's a good tip. That's a good tip.
you know.
Do you feel like through watching, you know, like past episodes, like you learn anything about yourself or I mean, obviously I'm sure.
Oh, hello. Yeah. You want to fix so many things, not aesthetically. Everybody, when I say that, is going to go, oh, she wants to fix so much.
Yeah.
She's
No,
had
but-
so much plastic surgery. No, I haven't. I've had my breasts and my nose. That's it. I've not had anything else. But you want to fix so much, like what you've said or an act you do or some little, you know, let's say you wipe your hair like this and you don't like wiping your hair like that and you see yourself do that constantly. It's little things like that. You're like, wow, you know, you really, most of it is about things you see yourself do that's not a kind act, and you want to fix that. I mean, for me, that's what I wanted to fix.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you guys think. If you want to log on to our iTunes and let us know, you can rate us and let us know how we've been doing so far. We're almost done with this season, and we got the reunions coming up, so we're excited about that. But let us know what you thought of tonight's party. Do you think that Mauricio should have been invited, or do you think that Carlton should have just said, you know what, both of you cannot come? We want to know your thoughts on that. And getting into that, I wanted to know, Alexis, if you have an opinion about this, who on the current season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who do you relate to most?
Well, I mean, there's so many I like, and then I don't know if I really like, if when you say relate, like
Like
or
when you watch, you're kind of like, oh, I've been through that, or I can feel what
See, I
she's dealing
haven't.
with. Okay.
I mean, a lot of the situations they go through.
yeah, situations more,
lot of
not
their
so much
life-
their characters, but
Yeah, their character, we're different. We're totally different.
Okay.
For what they've been through, there's so many situations that I relate to. I mean,
Yeah.
Kyle, with what she deals with her children, and you see her, I so feel for her. It's starting her own shop. You know, I have a clothing business, so I understand what she's going through and trying to make that a successful thing. It's a lot of grinding and just, I mean, so many hours put into that. Lisa, I mean, I just think that Lisa all around is, I mean, first of all, she'd get away with anything, let me just say, with
it's
that
so
accent.
true. It's so
Anything. She can murder your dog and steal your best Cavalli, and you'll still love her the next day. Like, you'll just be like, hi, babe. Okay, it's okay.
It's so true.
It's so true. But as far as relating, I just love her. I just like her. I mean, we go to her restaurant a lot. We're just, you know, and Brandi, I feel like, is going through a really hard time. And I think we've all been in a time where we want to not be where we are at that moment. And I think that's probably Brandi. She probably is ready to be married again or back into a, you know, comfortable situation.
Do you have any nice guys you could set her up with?
Yeah.
Speaking of Brandi, though, I'm wondering what you guys. So she was swelled up this week. I wonder how long that was from the part of Runyon to when she first was swelled up.
And what's up with the fist and the swelling? Or the wrist?
And the lisp. All of her
most of it.
testimonials have had the lisp for the last couple of weeks.
She hurt
Well, I
her
think
jaw.
that's
something to allude.
Oh,
It was
really?
it was something with her jaw during the confessionals to camera, but who knows what was in her mouth that made her tongue swell.
Yeah,
Just saying.
we have no idea.
Yeah.
No clue, but yeah, she's like breaking apart slowly. It's like the hand, like we said, the
And 2
jaw,
seasons ago, the leg.
the
and
leg.
the dog is gone.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
She's wearing this. You know.
You feel for her, absolutely. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's crazy to see the relationships go from Brandi and Lisa. As Brandi mentioned, she would call Lisa every morning, so they were really close. Kind of like you and Gretchen. You guys were super close, and you can see the slow deterioration of this friendship. And now she's going to run in with Kyle. It's like these little things that are going to happen, and then slowly it's going to hit reunion time, and you know Kyle's going to be sitting next to
blow
Brandi
up.
on that couch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and they might not though, because last year with ours, I
Yeah.
mean, you never know.
oh,
Like,
they put you in
they,
spots.
they might not. I think some of it is. I don't know this because I'm not behind the scenes putting all the people on the couches, but I think some of it might be wardrobe specific, like what you're wearing, because there have been times I've been on a couch that I think I would be next to someone and I'm next to someone I wouldn't expect. So all of it kind of has, I mean, they make it happen for a reason. They're
Right.
much smarter
So do you
than
just
us.
walk in and they say, okay, you're there,
Yes,
they're
and
there.
you don't know until the moment you walk out there.
That
It's
sucks.
not like you know 5 minutes before or an hour before, because they all know what you're wearing. The whole team knows what you're wearing before, but you don't know where you're sitting until
Do they
the
give you
moment.
options for outfits, or do you just have to bring your own stuff?
They say bring 2
Okay.
or 3, and then you give them your favorite, and you don't know up until the last. I mean, like, you know,
Really?
you know a couple hours before, so you can do your makeup and hair to match that outfit. But then that's it. You pick the outfits like a week before, and then you're.
I loved yours. The one you had on.
The
It was
red one?
red, yeah, I loved that
Oh,
with the earrings.
thank you.
And I like that they had you next to Tamara, who was in pink, and then Vicky was in orange, I think,
but
right?
I think
So
that
the
they,
colors were
They
great.
kind of do. I think that's what, because honestly, Lydia is probably who I was the closest to, but they had me next to Tamara.
Right.
So you just don't know. Every season, you don't
Yeah.
really know.
It made sense, though, because at that point, you three were getting along. So obviously, they have some thought to it. Like, it's going to be.
Oh, for sure.
That could put you next to Gretchen,
No.
because you guys need to fight. You need to look at each other the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Well, that's
long-
true.
how-
Actually, but sitting next to each other, we could do this a little bit more.
Yeah, you
Like,
could. Yeah.
yank, yank. We can do a little bit. They
pull
should have
out
put
the
me next
hair.
to her.
I
I'd have
know.
plucked her eyelashes
I know,
off.
right? I know.
How long are those reunion episodes taped for, actually?
Oh, honey.
Is it hours?
I don't know what I can contractually say right now.
No,
They're
don't-
like
don't say
12
anything that you can't,
No,
you
it's
know.
okay. They're 12. They're like 12 hours. It's like
a long day.
A fighting.
And you get like an hour, half an hour lunch, and like 2 more 10-minute breaks. It's like you have no idea.
At
Probably the
lunch, are
most
you
awkward
separated
lunch. Yeah.
so that everything's safe for the
Well,
camera?
I hightail back to my dressing room, and I just
Right,
am like,
smart.
bring me the champs, bring me you know, I'll go get my little buffet dish, and I'll go back
Yep.
to my room. And this year, you know, the last reunion that we just filmed, you know, a couple of the other girls came back to my room too, because I don't want to be out with. You just don't know, and you don't know who to trust,
Right.
And you don't know it's not over yet, so you don't know really how it's gonna. It's just a crazy, crazy world.
I mean, my biggest thing that I always wonder is when you're on camera and you know the cameras are there. Sometimes people end up saying things that they have to they have to face the repercussions of it.
Be
4 or 5
accountable
months.
for.
Yeah,
Like
so
Brandi.
I don't know. Is it just that you just get so comfortable? Because why would you not you, but people say things. They all get themselves into a situation at one point where that's going to get replayed on the reunion. And wouldn't you think in the very beginning just to avoid that completely by just always being filtered? Or
But you can't. You're not gonna have a show if you do that.
yeah,
and
so you
everybody
have
knows
to.
that.
So you
And
know you have to. Yeah.
I think that honestly, I think it's about securing your spot next year.
Yeah.
Bringing the
Period.
drama so that it stays interesting. And
And just letting everybody know that you're gonna bring it. And
Right.
You're gonna leave a little piece of something for the audience.
Yeah.
To grasp.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Well, that's why Teresa's even on now, and she's going through all that with the.
Yeah,
you know,
but I mean, I
how
feel
can you
for
get-
her.
Oh, I know. It's terrible.
Well, let's not talk about her because she's
Yeah.
gone right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to the episode of
The
Beverly
Runyon,
Hills.
yeah. So Runyon Canyon. So we got into that a little bit, but seeing Kyle and Brandi talk and seeing Brandi actually say that Lisa had manipulated her words or had her speak for her in a way, I found that shocking that she would reveal that on camera. And that's why I was asking you, wouldn't you think that she would like maybe talk to Kyle about that before the cameras went on? Because she knows it's going to get aired, but
Brandy's
obviously.
smart. She's smart with all her book deals and the
She knows,
filming
right?
and all of it.
But that's, I mean, she did say that, she mentioned Adrienne Maloof in that, and she said something about how Adrienne was, last year she obviously had a lot of problems with Kyle and, not with Kyle, with Lisa. So what did you guys think about that? Or did you find that shocking at all, or?
I did find it somewhat surprising because I feel like Brandi and Lisa have been so tight up until like the last episode because she didn't have her back after, or no, she didn't have Carlton's back. But I'm just nervous for what's going to happen with Brandi because nothing good ever happens when you're fighting with Lisa.
But Lisa said in the past that was friends with Brandi. She likes to help people and help them through the difficult times. And yeah, Brandi might still be going through a difficult time, but I think she thinks that Brandi's okay. She's kind of got through the really bad part with her ex-husband, and she can kind of stand alone now. And personally, I mean, Lisa said that she liked to help her, and I think that was the morning phone calls. She liked to check in and make sure everything was okay. Brandi's now kind of throwing her under the bus. I don't know. I think Brandi just says what's on her mind, and no matter what was said with anybody, I don't think she can keep her mouth shut. So maybe in the back of Lisa's head is that, but I don't know if I think Lisa's that calculated.
I don't think so either.
Do you, Alexis, think that?
I mean, Lisa's really smart, and she has this accent that allows her, like we said prior in the show, that allows her to do anything, and everybody you love her in the end of it. I mean, you just do. But do I think she had a malicious heart with Brandi? No, I think she really kind of cares about Brandi. What's interesting to me is how many people embrace Brandi and love her, even though she's kind of this, I don't want to say she's a train wreck because she's not really a train wreck, but on the show she is. Like, that's how she's portrayed on the show. I mean, and everybody just wants to, help her and lift her up, but she's kind of rejecting everybody that wants to, Londa's wanting to help her, Lisa's wanting to help her, and she doesn't really want the help. But if so many people are coming to me and telling me that I respect and look up to, I'm probably going to sit back and look and go, maybe it is. Maybe there is something I'm doing that I need to change a little bit.
It takes a big person to be able to look into themselves, though, and say something's wrong. And I don't think she can really, I don't think she's at that point in life.
Well, I think she's going through so much. I mean, like we were saying when we were screening, it's like she's lost her dog, her husband. She's breaking like every pot.
anyone that gets cheated on by their husband is not going to be the same from that day forward. You're never going to be the same. Your confidence isn't going to be the same, even though you portray it is. It's not going to be the same. Your respect for yourself is going to feel a little shaken. You're just going to have this super huge curve you've got to go through. And she's probably going to be a lot stronger than you and I, all of you and I at the end, because she's been through that.
Exactly.
But you're going to have a little bit of a fall along the way.
And she's doing it on national television.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it had just happened. And she's been on the show for 4 years, but it had just happened. So the whirlwind of the show is that you kind of get lost doing the show because you're so busy doing the show, you forget what's really going on in reality because you're so busy.
Right.
So it's probably a little bit of what's going on with her.
Right.
I mean, we're so busy.
Right. I know. But it's a good busy for, I mean, you did something with it, though. You opened up businesses.
You totally. Everybody
made the
does
most
something.
of it. It's
I mean,
great.
we all do. We all have other businesses we're starting, and you know that Housewives isn't the end all. You know that that's not really what you're in this for. Every person that goes on this show is going on it to do something else.
Right.
And for Brandi, I just think, she does need this career. She does. I mean, this is her career. And my heart goes out to anyone that's had the background she has with her family.
Yeah, definitely.
The history.
It's sad.
But
getting into, I wanted to know if you guys had any other things you wanted to add to this episode. If not, I'd like to get in some.
There was a lot.
I know, but
I like that.
unfortunately,
First of all,
My-
I
all
don't
the time
think
in the world.
Carlton, when Carlton got done working out, she did not go eat a piece of cake. I am
Joyce.
sorry. Or
Joyce.
Joyce. When Joyce got done working out, Joyce, as whoever said Joyce, got done working out, there is no way that girl went and ate a piece of cake.
Yeah, no.
And if she did, please call me and have a piece of cake with me.
I know. We say
Because
that.
I will eat a piece of cake. But
Well, you definitely, I think you mentioned a few seasons ago that you definitely advocate for girls being healthy. You maybe
Well,
did you say that
yeah.
you struggled a little bit
Yeah.
in your life with that, and we don't have to get into that, but obviously Joyce's little tagline is you can never be too skinny, too rich, and too whatever it is. So do you feel like that's a little obnoxious for somebody who is going to end up being somebody that's looked up to by girls to say you can never be too skinny when it's like very difficult for a lot of people to go through eating disorders?
I mean, I think that the eating disorder thing is on the rise in our society. I really do. I mean, I suffered from one. I know many friends that have. Mine came in college, so I wasn't even in high school doing it. It started after doing the research with my therapist, it started in high school because my parents got divorced, but it actually really came full circle in college, and it is all about a confidence. It's all about what's happened in your life, and it was control because my parents were divorced at so young. I felt like I never gained control of my life again from that moment on. And so I mean, it's not good to say that, but being someone who's suffered from it and come full circle, I understand. She's just saying, because even when if somebody calls me skinny, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
yeah,
not,
no,
but I have
totally.
2 daughters that I have to look up for. And even when I'm doing a juice cleanse, you know, I know someday they're going to hear this radio interview or or this internet, they could hear this interview. Even when I do a juice cleanse now with my daughters being 6, I still put food on the table for me because I don't want them to see me sitting at dinner drinking a juice when I'm trying to just clean my, they don't understand the liver detox and the this detox and the what you're trying to get the greens and all that. So I'm not doing it because I'm trying to be super skinny. I'm doing it because I'm trying to be healthy, and I want them to see you still eat meals, like you still eat every single meal. And I think that it's really important for all of us to advocate that as role models and women.
Right.
And so what I really would have liked to have seen is Joyce go do that workout and then go really take a bite of the cake.
Who knows? They could have edited that. We know that they do a lot of editing, so we don't really
Maybe
know.
she did. You're right.
So maybe she did. We'll give her that, since we do know that they can't take out a lot of things. They took out your your hosting thing.
They take out,
they take all the parts that make you look like a civilized person. So obviously, but who knows? But she definitely doesn't look like she goes to In-N-Out every night, but she could just be good genes. You never know. She's tall too.
Well, you don't have to eat every night. You don't eat cake every night.
No, that would be
you don't
nice.
eat In-N-Out every night.
Right.
But you can have it.
Right. Exactly.
And still be okay.
Exactly.
And live.
And yeah, so did you guys want to mention anything else about the episode? I wish we had all the time in the world. That would be so wonderful. Get to here for hours, guys. So I wanted to, before we get into so we do predictions on here, so I'll do that in a second, but I wanted to know where we can find you on Twitter and Instagram and everything, and how we can how can your fans keep in touch with you?
So I am on Alexis Bellino, at Alexis Bellino for Twitter, and at Alexis_Bellino on Instagram, and at Alexis Bellino on Facebook.
Awesome.
Which Facebook is so obsolete now.
I know.
Funny, no one even mentions Facebook
What about
anymore.
MySpace? You're
They're like,
MySpace.
I'm married. No.
All right, let's get in some predictions then.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I want to know your predictions. I know.
This is new to me. You guys, somebody else go first.
So you go first, Jill.
Okay, so predictions for next week. I think that Lisa and Brandi are going to have a huge confrontation.
Ooh.
And I think that this will be the first time that Brandi is like stuck for words and doesn't have her confidence in a conversation.
Ooh, good.
I know.
I wanted to go first because I liked what she said. So
You're second.
that.
You're second. But what do you say? Even for the reunion.
Oh my gosh.
If you predict anything for the reunion.
Wow.
Get your psychic skills out.
Okay, let me get them out. Okay, so I feel like it's not going to look so good for Lisa on this reunion. I feel like everyone's kind of turning on Lisa. I think that any housewife that is on any series, it's going to be your time at some point. I think this might be Lisa's turn, that everyone's going to suddenly be mad at her about something. I absolutely think what you're saying about next week's show is going to happen. I think Carlton is a really sensitive soul, and I'm not sure she's going to be able to. I think she really wants to show that she's strong, and I feel like she's such a sensitive, soft, sweet person that the reunion is going to not be good. I mean, she might put up a show that it's good for her, but at the end of the reunion, she might be really devastated from how hard it is for 12 hours of taping. I guess that a Brandi. Oh, I think that. I mean, I hope. Okay, hope is not what a prediction is. What I hope for Brandi is that she really turns it around and really takes in, some of what everybody's saying.
Absolutely. That's a good prediction.
Kyle's really even. I think Kyle's going to just be like this through the whole thing, and she's going to come through,
Thank
just
God for
fine.
Kim. Thank God for Kim, because she makes us laugh. Thank God for Kim.
She is the levity.
She is hilarious.
She's the levity.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Any predictions, Charlotte?
I agree. I think you're right. Kyle is she always comes out fine. She never gets hit hard. She never gets let off that lightly. She's always just,
She doesn't, well, she doesn't let anything stir her too much.
Yeah.
Even about her husband. I'm sorry. If someone said that about my husband, I would have freaking come unglued. And I know that I didn't come unglued too many times in the past few years, but that will unglue me. That will
Said what about the husband? Just to clarify for you.
Lisa in the kitchen.
When Lisa,
that's what I figured you were talking
Lisa
about. Yeah.
said, "Oh, that's where he gets
in front of Portia,
in front of the daughter."
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows the rumor. We all know the rumors that are going around about Marcia. I mean, they're squashed now. I feel like, but I feel like part of it's because Kyle was like this through it. She didn't go like crazy, like she just was like, "I know my husband. I know him." Like. And it's done. 2 episodes later, everybody's like, yeah, he's fine.
Right.
They're fine.
Can I ask you a question, though? Because all of us were saying we didn't hear about any of this until the show started. Do you think these were planted by producers? Because I didn't see any tabloids about it until the show started.
Well, no tabloids ever start about anything until the show airs or until you're on the show.
Right.
Okay, so, because we were going through that, we were like, is this producer-driven?
Everything is brought out. Like, Carlton will have more rumors spread about her soon. She's new. Anybody that's new coming out on a show, the rumors will all start then because there's nothing. You're not really in the limelight. No one really cares before that.
Exactly.
You could have slept with 7 women before and 8 men before. No one cares.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Did you have any predictions?
No, I think Lisa's gonna have a very eventful reunion. I'm just seeing everybody. Kim's, saying she's mad. Everybody has comments. So
I predicted everybody else predicted. I think I have nothing else. They took it all. I'm last. Well, thank you so much for watching today, and thank you so much, Alexis, for joining us. You should come back. We'd love to have you back for sure. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Miss Ashley Daniels.
You can find me at Cassidy Gard and CassidyGard.com.
At Charlotte Broadbent.
At Jill Anenberg and JillAnenberg.com.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.